द वे फॉरवर्ड इज ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ-ਬਹੁਤ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੋਸਟ ਹਰਜੋਤ ਸਿੰਘ। ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਇੰਸ ਐਂਡ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੜੀ ਰੈਪਿਡ ਗਰੋਥ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਨਵੀਂ ਓਪਰਚੁਨਿਟੀਜ਼ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਐਜ਼ ਇੰਡੀਵਿਜੂਅਲਸ, ਐਜ਼ ਪਰਸਨਸ, ਐਜ਼ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀਜ਼ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗਰੋਥ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਕਈ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, particularly for people who are left out of these technological developments. ਮੇਰਾ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸੈਲਫ ਡਰਾਈਵਿੰਗ ਟਰੱਕਸ ਐਂਡ ਕਾਰਸ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ, ਸੈਲਫ ਪੇਡ ਗੋ ਐਮਾਜ਼ਨ ਜੈਸੇ ਚੈੱਕਆਊਟ ਕਾਊਂਟਰਸ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਲਰਕਸ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ ਦਾ ਹੈੱਡਕੁਆਟਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ ਦੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜੌਬਸ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸਨ, ਉੱਥੇ ਜੌਬ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਅਸਰ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 100 ਬੰਦੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਆਰਟੀਫਿਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇਸ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀਕਲ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟਸ ਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਕਲੋਜ਼ ਨਿਗਾਹ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਧਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨਾ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਈਏ, ਉਸ ਜੌਬ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ 'ਚੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਾ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਈਏ। ਇਹ ਥ੍ਰੈਟ ਇੰਨੀ ਸੀਰੀਅਸ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਈ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਯੂਰਪ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਐਂਡਰਿਊ ਯੋਂਗ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰਪੋਜ਼ਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਲ ਬੇਸਿਕ ਇਨਕਮ $1000 ਦੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਏ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੰਨੇ ਬੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਨਇੰਪਲੋਇਡ ਹੋਣ ਲੱਗੇ। ਇਸ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀਕਲ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਜਾਗਰੂਕਤਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਰੀਸੈਂਟਲੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਫਰੀਮੌਂਟ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੋਬੋਟਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਕੈਂਪ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲਣ ਲਈ, ਸਕਸੈਸਫੁਲੀ ਚੱਲਣ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਹਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਮੰਤਰਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਪਰਵਾਰ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ। Anurag ji, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking out this time to speak with us. Anurag ji is a professor, assistant professor at Stony Brook University. He is an inventor. He is an elected member of the National Academy of Inventors and is an elected member of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Mechanisms and Robotics Committee. Anurag ji, tell us, why is this artificial intelligence and robotics such a game-changing technology?
So AI, which is artificial intelligence, and robotics have been around for a while now. AI, the term I think was coined in sometime in 50s. But in the recent years, we have seen very rapid growth in the AI technologies, primarily because of the computational power that exists today, advancement in algorithms, large amount of data available, and in particular good data available that comes from IoT devices and the sensors. So it's not like that AI is really a very new thing or robotics is a new thing. It's just that we are seeing much larger and deeper applications of AI and robotics in every sphere of our life and society. And it is impacting all of us. So you mentioned about the jobs. We'll talk about that. But AI is much closer to us than something that exists in industrial settings or in autonomous cars. Everybody these days carries a smartphone. We may not realize, but we are already using a lot of AI technologies in our smartphones. Every time you interact with your phone using either Google's voice assistant, if you are carrying an iPhone, you are using Siri, which is basically a speech interpretation and recognition interface. You are interacting with Alexa at home. You are actually interacting with an AI-driven computer software. Large amount of data has been used to train it. and we benefit from that. When you use something like Google Photos, it prompts you to tag people, and then it remembers. So large amount of data being fed to these systems is making changes to how you interact with the computer systems. Robotics also has been around for a while, but in our day-to-day life, we don't see a lot of robotics. We are interacting more with the AI systems than we are interacting with the robots. If you look at the social robots, the only thing that really comes to mind that exists in the household is actually your tiny vacuum cleaner called Roomba, or maybe one of the clones of it.
But it has been used in industries.
It has been used in industry for a very long time. You're absolutely right. But the social uses of robotics are very minimal. When we talk about robotics, of course, people think about what Isaac Asimov talked about and wrote about in his novels, in his fiction books. We look at the science fiction movies where there is a depiction of robots and AI agents. And we think that robots are necessarily these human-like machines which can take over the world or can conquer us or can someday maybe even make us superfluous. The reality is far from that. At least in the short term, we have nothing to fear about. Robotics in industry has been around for a long time. Cars are being made by robots. Difficult jobs, dangerous jobs, things that require a lot of precision are already being done by the robots in industrial setting. In medical field, there are surgical robots. You might have heard about Da Vinci system, CyberKnife. These are high precision robots that a surgeon can operate remotely. And small changes, small movements, the tremors can be filtered out. And a surgeon can perform surgery very accurately using these surgical robots. So in our daily interaction, we are not dealing with too many robots, except for maybe Roomba and some toy robots, but it's very pervasive in our society.
We have those burger flippers and everything now.
Yes, we do have those, but it is debatable whether we should call them robots or simply machines.
Okay. Parvaji, how much do you think the use of this robots and this automation and artificial intelligence is going to affect us in a way that they affect us for our jobs directly? We mentioned that we are hearing these proposals of universal basic incomes and all, because half of the population would be left out of work. We heard these concerns over the turn of the century, last century, when there was all these machines were coming and some automation was coming. So how much is the fear and how much is reality?
That's a great question. It's a very relevant question, especially now that AI is getting stronger and stronger. But this is not really a new question. This question has been asked for over 300 years. When first industrial revolution took place, it was the same question people asked. When the machines came around, we had steam and water-powered mechanization of industries. The entire textile industries, which used to be hand-woven, were displaced. Workers basically said that this is going to affect our livelihood, and in short term it did. There is no doubt about that. What we call second industrial revolution that took place around early 1900, when we had mechanization due to electricity. So we had mass production, we had assembly line. Again, the same question was asked. Third industrial revolution took place when the computer and digital systems arrived, and people said how computers and internet is going to affect our jobs. Now this AI is what people are calling fourth industrial revolution, and people are asking how is this going to change things? And there is absolutely no doubt that in short term it is going to change a lot of things in society. Like you mentioned, how autonomous cars and autonomous trucks could displace a large number of truck drivers in the country whose families are supported by their profession. What we have to do is differentiate between the word job and profession. Jobs never get lost, only professions change. So when the new AI comes, there will be new professions that would emerge. However, people will still be employed. They will be working on different things. As it happened in first industrial revolution, when mechanization took place, people had more time to pursue better intellectual activity, engage in fine arts, and something similar will happen with the AI
Anurag
also.
ji, we'll continue this discussion after a small break. So, see, dekhte raho, the way forward. ਦ ਵੇ ਫਾਰਵਰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੋਸਟ ਹਰਜੋਤ ਸਿੰਘ। ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਪੁਰਵਾਰ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ। ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਇਨਵੈਂਟਰ ਹਨ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ 125 ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀਜ਼ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਹਨ ਔਰ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਰੋਬੋਟਿਕ ਅਸਿਸਟਿਵ ਡਿਵਾਈਸ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਬੜਾ ਹੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਰੋਲ ਪਲੇ ਕਰੇਗੀ। ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਦੱਸਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਨਵੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਔਰ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਇਹ ਡਿਵਾਈਸ। ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋਗੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਇਸ ਇਨਵੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਚ?
श्योर। सो ये डिवाइस जो है इसको हम मोबिलिटी असिस्ट कहते हैं
जी।
ये हमारा खुद का दिया हुआ इसका नाम है
जी।
और ये हमने बनाई थी, शुरू किया था इसको बनाना ऑलमोस्ट 10 साल पहले एक रिटायर्ड डॉक्टर के लिए जो लॉन्ग आइलैंड में ही रहते थे।
जी जी जी।
अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो पास अवे हो गए लास्ट ईयर
जी।
परफेक्ट जेंटलमैन, उनको असिस्टेंस चाहिए था खड़े होने के लिए क्योंकि उन्हें पोस्ट पोलियो सिंड्रोम था।
जी। मैं अपनी व्यूअर्स ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ। ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਨਵੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਇਹ ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਲਈ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਕੀਤਾ। ਇੱਕ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੁਝ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਏਲਮੈਂਟ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹ ਪੋਲੀਓ ਸੇ
पोस्ट पोलियो सिंड्रोम
ਨਾਲੋਂ ਸਫਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਐਂਡ ਹੀ ਰੀਚਡ ਆਊਟ ਟੂ Dr. Purwar to develop this instrument to help him with his daily activities. Purwar ji ne ਇਹ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ 10 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ it is being produced commercially. So can you tell us how it works and how it helps?
Sure. So the idea is कि जब हम खड़े होते हैं, उठते हैं, बैठते हैं, दिन भर में 50-100 बार करते हैं, सोचते भी नहीं इस बारे में
जी।
लेकिन जिन लोगों को मुश्किल है, जैसे पोस्ट पोलियो सिंड्रोम, मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस, सेरेब्रल पाल्सी पेशेंट, वो अपने आप से खड़े भी नहीं हो सकते हैं
जी।
तो उनके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि वो खड़े हुए, उनकी मसल्स की, उनकी जॉइंट्स की एक्सरसाइज हो। तो ये डिवाइस लोगों को हेल्प करती है खड़े होने में। और जब आप खड़े हो जाते हैं तो अपने नीज़ को लॉक कर देते हैं, फिर उसको एज ए वॉकर यूज़ कर सकते हैं और आपको ये स्टेबल रखेगी डिवाइस के अंदर। कोई गिरने का डर नहीं है पीछे या आगे
जी।
तो ये डिवाइस हमने डॉक्टर पिल्लई जो अनफॉर्चुनेटली पास्ट अवे के लिए बनाई थी
जी।
लेकिन उसके बाद एक कंपनी ने जो लॉन्ग आइलैंड में ही बेस्ड है, उन्होंने हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी, हमारे पैटेंट को लाइसेंस कर लिया और वो 2017 अगस्त से इसको अभी बाज़ार में बेच रहे हैं, मोस्टली क्लिनिक्स में, हॉस्पिटल्स में, असिस्टेड लिविंग फैसिलिटीज़ में। लेकिन इंडिविजुअल्स भी इसको अपने घर में यूज़ कर सकते हैं। तो इसका आइडिया ये है कि जब आप खड़े होते हैं
जी
तो आपकी ह्यूमन बॉडी का एक नेचुरल मोशन है
जी।
खड़े होने का। तो हमने इसमें एक ये नई मैकेनिज़्म इन्वेंट की है जिसके लिए हमारे पास पैटेंट है, जो आपको नेचुरली ऊपर लेकर के आएगी सीटेड पोजीशन से। ये एक हार्नेस सिस्टम है, हार्नेस सिस्टम में आप बकल रहते हैं
जी।
और ये इसमें एक अप और एक डाउन बटन है। जब आप अप बटन को प्रेस करते हैं तो आप देखेंगे ये डिवाइस आपको ऊपर लेके आएगी।
सो जो आदमी अपनी टांगों पे खड़ा नहीं हो सकता, वो सिर्फ इसकी हेल्प से वो
खड़ा हो जाएगा
जी।
और जब आप एकदम ऊपर आ जाएंगे तो उसके बाद में इस डिवाइस को आप रोल कर सकते हैं एज ए वॉकर। और इसमें जो सीट जिसमें हार्नेस सिस्टम है उसमें आप बैठ भी सकते हैं, तो आप अगर थक जाएं चलते चलते
जी।
और उसके बाद जब आपको बैठना है तो वापस इसको नीचे ले आएँ और आप उसमें बैठ सकते हैं। तो जो ये डिवाइस है, अब इसका एक अलग वर्जन जो है वो कंपनी जिसने कमर्शलाइज़ किया है वो अभी बाज़ार में बेच रही है। और अब बहुत सारे लोग इससे हेल्प हो रहे हैं क्योंकि उन्होंने बहुत सारी यूनिट्स पिछले 1.5-2 सालों में बेची है।
तो ये कहाँ पे अवेलेबल है? आपने बताया कि जहाँ पे असिस्टेड लिविंग के सेंटर्स हैं।
तो दैट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन। तो ये जो कंपनी है, इन्होंने एक पिवट किया। हमने तो इस डिवाइस को सिर्फ एक आदमी के लिए बनाया था
जी।
उन्होंने देखा कि इसकी नीड जो है वो फिजिकल थेरेपी के लिए में काफ़ी है, क्योंकि फिजिकल थेरेपी के जो लॉज हैं अराउंड द कंट्री बहुत चेंज हो रहे हैं। लोग को जब बीमार हो जाते हैं तो ओबीज हो जाते हैं, 300-400 पाउंड वेट करने लगते हैं। तो फिजिकल थेरेपिस्ट, नर्सेज अगर उनको उठाने की कोशिश करती है तो उनकी बैक में इंजरी होती है। वर्कर्स कॉम्पनसेशन इन नर्सिंग इंडस्ट्री इज़ लार्जेस्ट इन दिस कंट्री। तो अब क्या हो रहा है कि ये लोग कह रहे हैं हम किसी को उठाएंगे नहीं, तो नाउ दे आर यूजिंग डिवाइसेस लाइक दीज टू गेट पीपल अप फिजिकल थेरेपिस्ट, ऑक्यूपेशनल थेरेपिस्ट, उनको एक्सरसाइज करनी होती है पेशेंट्स की रिहैबिलिटेशन के लिए, वो इस डिवाइस को यूज़ कर रहे हैं टू ब्रिंग पीपल अप एंड देन दे कैन हैव देम वॉक अराउंड इंस्टेड ऑफ हैविंग टू डू इट देमसेल्व्स।
तो हमारी कम्युनिटी के जो लोग who suffer from these kind of diseases, is that something they can demand from the doctors?
Well, they can definitely get a device like this. Doctor can evaluate the patients and make sure that this will be suitable for them, and if they find that it will be helpful clinically for them, then they can definitely buy the device, or they can go to clinics where they can use these devices.
ये एक बड़ी यूज़फुल इन्वेंशन है। डॉक्टर, आपने और भी कई ऐसी इन्वेंशंस की हैं विच आर यूज़फुल टू आस इन सोसाइटी, इन आर डेली लिविंग्स। हमें बताएंगे कुछ उनके बारे में?
तो ये जो इन्वेंशन है, इस पे हमारे 2 पैटेंट हैं, और एक पैटेंट तो हमने लाइसेंस किया है इस कंपनी को, ये लॉन्ग आइलैंड में बेस्ड है जी। दूसरा, ओरिजिनली हम लोग इंडिया से हैं, तो ऑफ कोर्स मेरा दिल वहीं रहता है जी। तो एक कंपनी को हमने वहाँ आइडेंटिफाई किया था 2 साल पहले। मैं IIT रोपर गया था कुछ लेक्चर देने के लिए, तो एक कंपनी से मिला था, उन्होंने कहा कि हम इसको इंडिया में बनाना चाहते हैं। तो हमने उनको ऑलमोस्ट बिना किसी लाइसेंसिंग कॉस्ट के उनको दे दिया टेक्नोलॉजी कि वो बनाए एक लो कॉस्ट वर्जन, जिससे इंडिया में भी लोगों की हेल्प हो इस तरह के डिवाइस से। इसके अलावा यहाँ पे और भी बहुत सारे डिवाइस डेवलपमेंट में मैं इन्वॉल्व रहा हूँ। एक फिजिकल थेरेपी और डिवाइस है जो कि मसल्स स्ट्रेच करने के लिए उसमें इन्वॉल्व रहा हूँ। उसमें वो डिवाइस एक फिजिकल थेरेपिस्ट है, वो अभी कमर्शलाइज करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। मैंने एक बच्चों के लिए स्टेम इन्वेंशन रोबोटिक्स किट भी क्रिएट की है, जिससे कि बच्चे स्टेम कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में सीख सकें, रोबोटिक्स के बारे में सीख सकें। वो एलिमेंट्री स्टूडेंट से लेकर के कॉलेज स्टूडेंट सबके लिए चलती है। इवन एडल्ट्स जो सीखना चाहते हैं इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग और कंप्यूटर साइंस, उस किट को यूज़ कर सकते हैं रोबोट्स बनाने में।
ये रोबोट्स की वी लर्न दैट यू ऑल्सो डू अ कैंप, जिसमें आप ये बताते हैं इसमें रोबोटिक्स के बारे में। हमें इस कैंप के बारे में बताएंगे, ये कब करते हैं और उसमें क्या सिखाया जाता है?
बिल्कुल। तो ये जो रोबोटिक किट की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, उसको हम Snappy XO भी नाम दे रखा है। Snappy XO because everything snaps together and it has patterns of holes which look like X and O, so we call it Snappy XO.
अनुराग जी, हम आपके साथ Snappy XO के बारे में बात करेंगे एक छोटी सी ब्रेक के बाद। द वे फॉरवर्ड इज ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੋਸਟ ਹਰਜੋਤ ਸਿੰਘ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਪੁਰਵਾਰ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਇਨਵੈਂਟਰ ਹਨ, प्रोफेसर है मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग दे सोनी यूनिवर्सिटी विच। प्रोफेसर, वी हैव सीन योर इन्वेंशंस that they're really, as I said before, they're really useful in our daily lives to improve the quality of our lives। इन्हां दी जिहड़ी इन्वेंशनस हैगियां ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ, ਇੱਕ ਆਮ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਬੜੀਆਂ ਯੂਜ਼ਫੁਲ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਲਿੱਪ ਦਿਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਇਨਵੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਣਾਈ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਐਂਡ ਹਾਊ ਇਟਸ ਹੈਲਪਿੰਗ ਦ ਸੋਸਾਇਟੀ। ਵੇਖਿਆ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਇਨਵੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਣਾਈ, ਔਰ ਇਸ ਦੀ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਈਡਰ ਇੰਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਪਰੂਵ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ, ਵੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਫॉर दैट। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਪੁਰਵਾਰ ਜੀ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਇਨਵੈਂਸ਼ਨਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਚੱਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਐਸਪੈਕਟ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਸਦਾ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਪਰਪਸ ਹੈ, ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਆਲਵੇਜ਼ ਮਾਈਂਡਫੁਲ ਆਫ दैट। ਔਰ ਉਸੀ ਜ਼ੀਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੋਬੋਟਿਕਸ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਨੈਪੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਣਾਂਗੇ। ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ, ਟੈਲ ਅਸ more about Snappy. What exactly is Snappy?
So before I talk about Snappy, let me commend you for making that comment, how what I'm trying to create is helping the society, because that's the only thing that drives me in my work. I do research in machine design area, mostly focusing on the mechanical side of robotics, mechanisms, things that make things move. I teach classes related to my research. I do technology development, and this was one example that you just saw. I'm always interested in connecting these three major dots: technology, research, and education. And I have found that my work usually informs one with another. So technology development informs the research, education informs the research, and research could inform the technology development as well as education. I'm interested in doing the work, whether it's research or education or technology development, that is deeply socially meaningful. Snappy XO was not created because I wanted to create a product that will be sold in the market. I had a problem. I was teaching a freshman design and robotics class at Stony Brook, and I realized that the students in my class did not have adequate exposure to engineering design process. I was trying to teach them the engineering design process, principles of mechanical engineering, electronics, electrical engineering, and computer science in the context of what we call experiential learning and project-based learning. I was asking them to design, build, and program a robot, but when I looked at the robotic kits out there in the market, I found they were either very expensive or they had a very narrow focus, such as focusing mostly on the programming. So I decided that I will create something of my own that my students can use, and we tried it. It worked. It didn't happen overnight. It took us a few years before it became what we call now a robot kit. But then schools, the camps, the other after-school programs around in Long Island got a wind of it, and they started asking if we can try it, if we can use it. So we took it to some camps, we took it to some after-school programs, and we beta tested with the kids. We received some funding from National Science Foundation, which is a US federal government branch. And we received some funding from SUNY Research Foundation to develop the technology. And now Snappy XO is at the point where we can make it available for elementary students all the way to college students as well as beyond. We have a single hardware, which means it works all the way from elementary and beyond. Kids can start at elementary level and they can grow with it, and they don't have to change the hardware. We have developed some apps which actually are built on top of my research in mechanism and robotics area. And the students can use that to design robot motions. Camps have been particularly very interested in this, and actually this year we used the Snappy XO robotics kit in 5 different camps. In particular, we organized one camp sponsored by MTRC program at Stony Brook University. This camp was held in 2 locations in Long Island. 51 students from 35 different school districts participated in the camp. They were all given full scholarship.
Full scholarship.
For 2 weeks, they participated in this camp where they learned about mechanical engineering, mechanical design. They learned about electronics, how to put together circuits. They learned about computer science, computer programming, and computational thinking.
And these are kids of what age?
These kids were from the grade 6 to 11. We ran it in 2 different locations, one on Stony Brook campus, other at Carl Place High School. And at the end of the 2 weeks, they had to design and build a robot that they had to demo. We invited their family, their friends to come and look at the demo. It was a hugely successful camp. It was also a place where we learned what changes we need to make to the robot kit. And we made those changes because that was one of the things we had to do as part of our NSF grant.
So is that something you're planning to do every year?
Yes. So this year was the second year of doing that camp. And next year, actually, we are planning to do camps again in 2 locations, one in Suffolk County, other in Nassau County. And we are also planning to do something for younger kids. There are several other camps which are commercial camps where kids all the way from elementary to high schools have used this. So there are several other camps where also Snappy XO is being used.
Professor, you mentioned scholarship. I understand that these camps can be expensive. They can they can go up to say, anywhere around $2,000 for 2 weeks.
Yes.
So are your camps totally free?
Yes, so these two camps that we organize with the sponsorship of MTRC program were 100% free for the students. And as you mentioned, the scholarship was at actually $2,000. And at the end of the camp, the students were allowed to take the robot kit with them. My goal with this robot kit has been to create something that is affordable, is modular, and is simple for the kids and everybody else to use. And that has made it possible for us to provide this scholarship. My vision, my dream is for every child in this world to have their own robot kit, not have one in the school which is shared among 5 students. And the schools have no choice but to do that because generally these kits are very expensive.
So Professor, these kits, are they just toys or they have some other application as well?
These are not toys. Yes, you can treat them as toys, but the idea is education. The main goal here is education, not some cookie cutter robotics. It's not like you follow instructions and you build something and then you're done with it. There is no learning in that. Snappy XO is positioned as an educational platform, not as a toy. You are going to learn about design process. You're going to learn about how to put together circuits. You're going to learn about programming. And we work with off-the-shelf electronics, which is readily available, which is inexpensive. We work with open source programming platforms like Arduino and Raspberry Pi, and that's how we keep the cost low. You can build your own toys, and you can play with it, but we challenge the kids to design and build their own toys rather than we give them a toy.
Professor, I'm sure lots of people from our community, from all communities, would be interested in these camps, particularly with the practical applications you're telling, and we can't overlook the financial help as well. So where do they find out about these camps? What is the selection process? Is there first come first serve basis, or?
So the first year we organized this camp, it was on a first come first serve basis because we were not expecting a lot of applications. In the second year, this year, we received a lot of applications that we could admit, and we had only 50 openings. In the end, we took 51 students. So as now the camp is becoming more and more popular, we are receiving more applications. There is a committee that looks at the application. The students have to apply. They have to write a small essay. We get a recommendation letter from the teachers, and they have to submit it. And then the committee looks at it and admits the students. We typically give preference to the new students, but in the past we have also admitted the students from the previous years.
Professor, आप हमारे viewers को बताएं कि where can they look for information for this camp? Is there a website?
Yes, so we have a website where we post all the information. The application is generally, we start the application process generally in January of every year. Sometimes it can go into February. But if they do a search for Snappy XO Robotics Camp on a Stony Brook website or word MTRC, they will typically be able to find it.
Snappy
XO
Robot Camp.
Snappy XO Robotics Camp or MTRC.
I hope ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਨੋਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਬੜਾ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈਗਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਜੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ। ਦ ਵੇ ਫਾਰਵਰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੋਸਟ ਹਰਜੋਤ ਸਿੰਘ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਪੁਰਵਾਰ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ। ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੋਬੋਟਿਕ ਕਿਟ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਣਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਸਨੈਪੀ XO ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ snappyxo.com ਤੇ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਹੈਗਾ। ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਇਸ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਸ ਰੇਂਜ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਲਈ ਕਰਾਊਡ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਏ ਨੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਆਰਡਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਨੂੰ, ਇਸ ਦੀ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਫਰਦਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰਮੋਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਔਰ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਕੈਂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂ ਆਪ ਜਾਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿਡ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸੋਨੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਸਟੋਨੀ ਬਰੁਕ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਹੈ ਉਸ 'ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ MTRC ਦੇ ਹੈਡ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖੋ ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਕੈਂਪ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਐਨਰੋਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਇਸ ਕੈਂਪ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਜਨਵਰੀ ਔਨਵਰਡਸ ਉਹ ਐਕਸੈਪਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਕੈਂਪ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜੁਲਾਈ ਦੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ 'ਚ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ।
July, Yes.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕੈਂਪ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜੁਲਾਈ 'ਚ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਅਨੁਰਾਗ ਪੁਰਵਾਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਵਿਨਿੰਗ ਟੀਚਰ ਹਨ ਔਰ ਇਹ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਬਰੁਕ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਐਡਮਿਸ਼ਨਸ ਹਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਮੇਟੀ 'ਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਡ ਹਨ, ਉਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਡ ਹਨ। ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਾਣਨਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਸਟੱਡੀਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਐਡਮਿਸ਼ਨਸ ਹਨ उसदे की क्राइटेरिया होंगे, आप जो सिलेक्शन करते हैं what is it based on?
So first of all, let me clarify that I'm on the graduate admission committee of our department. There is no such thing as the committee for the entire school.
Sure.
So in the mechanical engineering department, we receive graduate applications from all over the world.
Ji.
And I generally take care of the applications that come from India because I'm originally from there, so I understand what students' preparations are like, what colleges are like, and so on. When we receive applications from different places all around the world, we look at a combination of things. We look at what their GPA is, what their academic performance has been like. We look at their essay. They have to write a personal statement of purpose. We look at their recommendation letters from their professors or their employers under whom they may have worked. We look at their personal motivation as to what they want to do. We look at whether they'll be a good fit in our department. So an application that may be a great fit for our department may not be a good fit for another school and vice versa. We look at our strength in the department. So if a student is applying and is saying that I want to work in, let's say, AI area or machine learning, and we don't have any expert. We do have experts, but let's say we did not have any expert, then we would be very hesitant to admit that student because there is not a good fit between what he wants to do or she wants to do and what we are offering to the students. So there is not a single thing that makes a decision for them. We often look at a combination of these things.
Professor, we have seen with this recent developments and recent specializations, as I said before, earlier finance was a huge job creator in New York, but now that sector is being challenged by artificial intelligence, people with those skills. So even in industry, it has gone across industries, right? How important are graduate studies, masters and specializations in today's scenario?
Well, you talked about AI taking away professions, not the jobs, from financial industry. It's happening in other industries too.
When I say jobs, let's say if they needed a team of 100 people to do something, now they need one person and a software.
Right, absolutely. So it's happening across the industries, right? It's happening in medical world. Now there are AI software systems that can read X-ray reports. I can read, not report, but X-ray readings. They can give you personal medical advice and assistance because they have looked at different cases of your type. I've even heard that in law, there are software systems that are now providing law advice to the people. So it's happening in different sectors. And that's why it becomes even more important for a student to go for graduate school, graduate studies, because that's where you can acquire these new skills that will be required in the coming days. So that you do not become obsolete. It's equally important that you not only just keep doing what you were doing, but upgrade your skills, continue to acquire new knowledge, and if possible, get involved in creation of the new knowledge. And that will happen only if you go to the graduate school and you do research there.
So what advice would you have for students seeking to go for graduate studies?
Well, my advice for the students who want to go to the graduate school is to not just go there and treat it as the 5th or 6th years of their undergraduate studies, which means do not go there just to take a bunch of classes. Go there, work on a project under a professor, try to do an internship, try to do a thesis if you're doing a master's. If you're doing PhD, of course, you'll be writing a dissertation. But try to create new things. That could be the new knowledge that would be published in peer-reviewed publications, or it can be a new software system that you work on. It could be a new app. It could be a new technology. Mobility Assist, Snappy XO. I've had several undergraduate and graduate students who worked on this with me. Some of them became co-inventor with me, so I'm not the sole inventor of these technologies. So my advice to graduate students is go to the grad school, not to take just a bunch of classes, but try to create something new, because that is what is going to get you a good job in later years.
That's very important, Professor. And you see, we understand that education is an expensive commodity. So are there any financial assistances available at the graduate level?
There are several avenues for financial assistance and a scholarship at graduate level. In our department at least, and I can probably say it safely for various departments, many departments across the country in the US, if you apply for PhD, you will get full scholarship, which includes a stipend and a tuition waiver. If you apply only for the master's studies, by default, you do not get any support. Having said that, when you come to the department, at least at Stony Brook in mechanical engineering, we have a lot of positions. I have supported every single master's student in the last 5 years who has worked with me. In the past, that was not possible. And the reason it has become possible is because I also actually work as the director of a New York State program called SPUR program. And I direct that program from mechanical engineering department. And I work with a lot of companies, a lot of industries, which require graduate students to work on those projects. They're not a good fit for PhD level students because these are more engineering projects. And I hire a lot of master's students to work on those projects. I have a lot of educational related projects on which I hire master's students. So my advice to the graduate students is that do not be discouraged by the fact that you do not have assistantship or a financial scholarship promised to you in your admission letter. Once you come here, you will find that if you're willing to work hard, you will get these positions.
They can find some support.
They will find sources to support themselves.
Professor Sir, there was a time a few years back, even when we were growing up, people were moving out of science and technology subjects, going into finance and law and other areas, fine arts and all. How do you see the future for STEM subjects?
I think the future for the STEM subjects is very, very bright. We started this program with talking about AI and robotics. And AI and robotics at least is highly interdisciplinary. It brings together mechanical engineering, electronics, electrical engineering, information system, computer science, ethics, psychology. All these disciplines are coming together in robotics. AI systems are being integrated into robots. So I would say that this is a very good time for engineers and scientists who want to work in STEM-related disciplines. There are a lot of jobs available in STEM disciplines. Department of Labor released stats a few years ago wherein they predicted that in 2018, so this is last year's data, there will be 2.5 million STEM jobs available that will go unfilled. So we have jobs, but we don't have trained people who can take those jobs. We have professions which have not been created yet because of the AI, because of the robotics advancement. If the students are prepared, if they're forward-looking, they'll be able to occupy these positions. But there are challenges because in the US at least, 78% of high school graduates are not prepared to take STEM classes at college level. And that's where something like a Snappy XO could come in because it's an educational platform. It can teach students, it can motivate students to go into STEM disciplines.
Yeah. So a few years back, we saw this movement of people moving away from science and STEM subjects. But now I think there's a movement with this fourth industrial revolution that you mentioned. People are going back there, and that's where the future jobs are. Professor, anything else you would like to talk about?
I think we have covered a lot of grounds today, so you don't have much to add unless you have a question, which I'm happy to answer.
We are so thankful that you came here today. हमारे साथ बात करने का आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. ए सन प्रोफेसर अनुराग परवार. ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਆਰਟੀਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ 'ਚ, ਰੋਬੋਟਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ 'ਚ. ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਸਟੱਡੀਜ਼ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ. ਇਹ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੀ ਡਿਮਾਂਡ ਹੈ. ਐਂਡ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Here today.
Thank you.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਦ ਵੇ ਫਾਰਵਰਡ.